What if I told you that one of the most popular teas you'll find in the pregnancy aisle at places like Whole Foods, Sprouts, or even Target actually has almost no solid science to back up its biggest claim? Yeah, I know, that's a bold statement, but we're going there today. We're talking about raspberry leaf tea. You've probably seen it all over social media, maybe in parenting forums, maybe your yoga buddy swears by it, or that one all-natural everything friend in your life has recommended it. It's often called the woman's herb, and it gets credit for everything from easing periods to making childbirth easier. But here's the question. Is this just an old wives' tale that blew up online? Or is there actually something to it? We dug through the history, the hype, and yes, the research to find out. So grab your mug, settle in, and let's break it down. So, first things first, what is raspberry leaf tea? Not what you think. It's not fruity, it's not made from raspberries. It's actually an herbal infusion made from the leaves of the red raspberry plant, Rubus idaeus if we're being scientific. And the flavor? Way more like a mild, earthy black tea than anything fruity. People have been brewing these leaves for centuries. They're full of vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, iron, potassium. But the real buzz comes from the bioactive compounds, stuff like tannins and flavonoids, which are antioxidants. And then there's a compound called fragarine. The idea is that fragarine helps tone and tighten the muscles in the pelvic area, including the uterus. Not to induce labor, but to make contractions more efficient when labor starts. Basically like a workout for your uterus before the big event. Sounds cool, right? But does the science actually back that up? Let's see. Okay, the big claim here is that raspberry leaf tea helps with labor and delivery. I dug into PubMed and other academic sources, and the evidence is, let's just say, complicated. There's one study you'll hear about a lot. It was published in the Journal of Midwifery and Women's Health. It looked at women who drank raspberry leaf tea and found they had a shorter pushing stage of labor and fewer forceps deliveries. Sounds pretty amazing. But here's the catch. It was an observational study, not a randomized controlled trial. Translation? It can show a connection, but it can't prove the tea actually caused the results. Maybe those women were also doing yoga, eating differently, or just had easier births naturally. A more recent systematic review in 2021 looked at all the studies together. The conclusion? We just don't have enough high-quality evidence to say raspberry leaf tea works, or even that it's 100% safe. The data is mixed. Some smaller studies showed no effect at all. So the scientific community is basically saying, we see the anecdotes, but we need better research before we can recommend it. What about period cramps? The logic is similar. If it tones the uterus, maybe it reduces cramps. But the evidence here is even thinner, mostly just tradition, not modern clinical trials. So if the science is shaky, why is this tea so popular in the US? Simple. We love our wellness hacks. Walk into Sprouts, Whole Foods, or your local co-op, you'll see it everywhere. Brands like Traditional Medicinals basically made raspberry leaf tea a household name. And think about it. You're pregnant, feeling anxious, and someone in your birthing class says, "My labor was only 6 hours. I swear it was the tea." What do? You grab a box because it feels proactive, like you're preparing your body. But here's something important. In the US, the FDA classifies herbal supplements as food, not drugs. So they don't go through the same strict testing as medications. That box of organic raspberry leaf tea might be high quality, but there's no FDA guarantee that the health claims are legit. All right, let's lay out the pros and cons really clearly. Pros? Nutrient-rich. Lots of vitamins and minerals. Traditional wisdom, centuries of use in women's health. Possible labor support. Some studies and tons of anecdotes suggest it might shorten labor or reduce interventions. Cons. It's a uterine stimulant, so most doctors and midwives say avoid it in the first trimester. The usual advice is to wait until around 32 weeks. Potential side effects, things like loose stools, nausea, or stronger Braxton Hicks contractions. Possible interactions with medications like any herbal supplement. Bottom line? Talk to your doctor or midwife before you try it, especially if you're pregnant or trying to conceive. Your health is too important to rely only on forum posts or what your friend swears by. And hey, if this breakdown is helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel bring you more evidence-based content. Now, let's talk history for a second, because this part is pretty cool. Raspberry leaves have been used for centuries. The ancient Greeks and Romans used them. In medieval Europe, women of royalty were given raspberry leaf for childbirth. And here in North America, many Native American tribes, including the Cherokee, used raspberry leaves for sore throats, stomach issues, and as a uterine tonic, way ahead of TikTok wellness trends. And here's a wild stat. While we don't have exact numbers for raspberry leaf tea alone, the US herbal tea market is projected to hit billions of dollars. Billions. That's a lot of mugs of tea being brewed by people chasing better health. So what's the final verdict? Raspberry leaf tea is nutrient-rich, it has a fascinating history, and it's beloved in traditional medicine. But the hard science? Still catching up. It's not a magic potion for labor, but it's not total nonsense either. For a lot of people, it's more about the ritual. Feeling prepared, feeling empowered. The key is to be smart. Do your research, know the risks, and talk to your healthcare provider. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried raspberry leaf tea? Did you use it during pregnancy? Did it help? Drop your experience in the comments, because your story might help someone else. And don't forget, subscribe to Subvita and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of health and wellness. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy.